What's going on, everyone? Smith here, and I just want to make a quick video talking about the future. And what inspired me to make this video was seeing a lot of ads for these AI chatbot girlfriends, but not just seeing ads. Apparently, people are actually buying these. Like, there's whole subreddits dedicated to using these, and like what the experience is like. And that's a little disturbing. Like, why are people using these? Why are people feeling the need? Are they really so disconnected that they've like resorted to just talking to and one of the Reddit posts, I think I saw someone screen grab it and post it on Twitter, was the guy's like, I'm so depressed or lonely or whatever, I don't even care. I just want to talk to someone. And so he's talking to the AI. That's disturbing. And what happens, the question that I pose in this video is, what happens when this technology gets better? What happens when we get this ex machina type stuff? And I'm not talking about, like, anyone who's seen the movie knows that she's like an evil AI or whatever, but I'm just talking like, I guess that's kind of a spoiler. It's not really. Like, it's pretty apparent throughout. Well, it's been out for like 10 years, alright? You should have seen it by now. Anyway, right now people are just talking to AIs on their phones that are just texting back and forth. What happens as the technology improves, and what happens when that AI gets so good you can actually program a robot like Ex Machina or a hologram like in Blade Runner 2049. You can just mass market it like, hey, you don't need to go out and find a girlfriend. We can just give you this one. And, you know, she'll be the perfect girlfriend or whatever. Perfect wife, what have you. And I think a lot of people would take that offer. Like, even before we got all disconnected like that, I mean, you had guys over in Japan who were marrying their throw pillows or their little action figures or whatever. Those guys would definitely be chomping at the bit for this. I think the mistake that everyone makes when talking about stuff like this is they assume it'll never sound just like a person, or it'll never act like, there'll be something about its mannerisms, the AI's mannerisms, like you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to, you know. And I'm not so sure. And this movie, Blade Runner 2049, is a really good example of what I think it could end up looking like. Like, his AI hologram girlfriend is, she seems very much like she has her own personality and whatnot. As they go along together in the movie, it's very clear, like, she's kind of structured herself around him almost. And I think that's how the AIs would work, is like, each AI will be unique to the individual. Each AI, like girlfriend or whatever, would be unique to the individual, but only because as it learns about you, it's going to adjust its personality accordingly to be like better suited towards your own personality. I think the hologram thing is a little sci-fi-y. I feel like it'd be cheaper for them to just build a robot. I mean, Boston Dynamics is already making robots that can run parkour, so it's not that much of a leap to just be like, hey. Also, the AI tech in this movie is kind of wonky. It's like how that, or not the AI tech, but like the hologram tech in this movie is kind of wonky. Like, it doesn't make sense. How does she see everything he sees unless she's like connected? There's one scene in this movie where he's like looking through a lens thing, and she's looking through it as well, like over him, or like through him, because like her hologram face comes out of his or whatever, and she's looking at it. How can she see that? If there's some kind, unless she's seeing from his eyes, I mean, how am I supposed to believe that the hologram can just see that? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. But that's why I say the technology for like more of an ex machina type deal is already nearly there, if not there. All we need now is the programming. Yeah, I actually think a better way to mass market this would be to market these as like kind of iRobot style, where it's like, oh no, these robots can just be your maid or whatever, or your butler, right? They're just, they'll clean the house for you and they'll do all that stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you can also date them. They'll have an app you can download, and then it can be your girlfriend. It can be just like a real girlfriend or whatever. And same thing for the ladies, right? The same thing would go in reverse for the ladies. They can get their perfect Ryan Gosling boyfriend. And that would be the other thing, right? Is with an AI bot, you could have whatever kind of looking girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever you want, effectively. And however you want them to look is exactly how they'll look. Maybe you wouldn't be able to get like your exact favorite celebrity's likeness, but you get damn close. And you say, Smith, that's not gonna take hold. Like, people still want to have kids and raise families. I'm like, I'm glad you brought that up. They're already working on that too. Artificial wombs, test tube babies. You can go grow babies in a pod without actually having to, have the mother there or have a woman get pregnant, which will probably be way cheaper than getting a surrogate. Once they get all the details of the technology ironed out, and then bam. If you're a guy, you can have your AI girlfriend go get a test tube for your baby. Go get you a test tube baby. If you're a girl, it's a lot easier. You just need sperm or whatever. So that's a lot easier. You have your AI boyfriend go get it. But there's a level deeper than that, or there's something that's connected to that. I feel that we should also talk about, and we're going to break into that right now. And that's the designer babies question. And this, I think, is a particularly interesting question because my initial reaction to, like, designer babies, for those who don't know, are genetically edited babies. Like, they edit out any kind of genetic defects. That to what extent will they be able to do this? We don't know. So for the sake of argument or for the sake of conversation, I'm just going to say that they can edit out all the flaws, all the, like cancer, Alzheimer's, all the flaws in human beings. And then the question becomes, okay, how far do you take that? Right? Like if a doctor came up to me, say this was a really low risk procedure, and a doctor came up to me and he's like, yeah, we can edit, your kids before they're born, and they won't get cancer, they won't get Alzheimer's, they'll have straight teeth. I had braces when I was a kid. It was a pain. That'd be cool. They won't suffer from hair loss. It's like, where's the line for that? Do you just go all the way? It's like, as long as it doesn't worsen or increase the risk of the procedure, it's like, yeah, do all that stuff. But then you'll have this perfect, like, specimen of a baby that doesn't have any of the flaws that have been carried down from your family line, which sounds good, but I don't know. There's something a little odd about that. That coupled with the AI wives or whatever and husbands for people, the AI robot, you'd have your perfect spouse and your perfect designer baby in an artificial world. Granted, I don't think any of this is going to happen for like another couple of generations. Like, it's not going to happen in our lifetime, so don't anybody worry about that. If it does happen, I could see it maybe being on the tail end of our lifetime. I don't know. You could argue that people in our generation are going to end up living longer because of advancements in medical technology and whatnot, but I doubt it. It will probably be a problem that our kids or grandkids have to deal with. That's the designer baby question. The AI one's more kind of, it's pretty easy and blatant to see the problem with someone marrying and being in love with a robot, that and companies a company literally being able to sell you love and happiness, right? So that one's pretty overt to see what the problem is with that. This, on the other hand, the problem is not so clear. And so let me know what you think in the comments. Like, would you ever get a operation done for like a designer baby if you could edit out potential genetic defects, or just like I said, eliminate cancer, eliminate Alzheimer's. Again, we're just talking hypothetically. I don't know what it's going to end up being, but for me to consider it, it would have to be you can remove all this very serious stuff, and it would have to be an incredibly low-risk procedure. So for the sake of argument, we'll say that's what it is. But if you're willing to do that, how far are you willing to take it? You know, what if they say they can make the kids smarter? What if they say they can improve the kids' metabolism so they're not going to struggle with their weight? You know, maybe you've got a weight problem, or your family has a weight problem. Imagine. How far do you take it? I think with regard to the AI girlfriend, if that did become normalized, it would probably be men who adopt it first. You know, kind of like how they went with the dating apps, right? Guys were on the dating apps like straight away, and then women over the years have, like, when I was younger, women like never used dating apps. Like, they were very embarrassed if anyone even found out they were using dating apps. Now it's pretty commonplace. Like, there's still some women who are like, I'm not using no dating app, I don't need a dating app or whatever. But a lot of women have just been like, yeah, I use dating apps all the time, and you see it normalized on television now. So I think the same kind of thing could possibly happen with, the AI boyfriend or girlfriend. You know, men adopt it straight away because, I mean, let's be real. If someone comes up to you and is like, hey, you want to date Scarlett Johansson? You want to date Natalie Portman? It's like, yeah. That's a pretty tempting offer. It's like, oh yeah, she'll be a robot. Oh. Well. That would be a tempting offer for a lot of guys. And I also think it's important to keep in mind when we're talking particularly about the AI, the objective isn't to make a self-aware AI, right? Or a sentient AI. The objective is to make an AI that can convince a human that it's self-aware. Like, Google did this a couple of months back, or some guy at Google had this happen a couple of months back. He had some AI program, and he got put on leave or whatever because he said it was alive or whatever. He was convinced it was alive. Well, the question is, was it actually alive? No. Or most definitely not. Right? But if it's good enough at convincing you it's alive, that's all it needs. Right? The important part isn't whether or not it is actually alive or sentient. The important part is whether or not you believe it is actually alive or sentient. And I think that's where we're going. So, very, very interesting and a little disturbing. Maybe very disturbing. So, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.